Hello and welcome to the 2015 edition of Journey to the Throne. I'm your host, Kimani St. Every year, 7 beauties of the nature isle of Dominica vie for the Miss Dominica title. Today we have with us Keianna John. Keianna, welcome.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. Keianna, you are from the community of Salisbury.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so my first question is always, how was it growing up in Salisbury for you?
Salisbury was great. Salisbury is a community where the people are united, so it's always great to be a part of something like that.
Okay, and in your younger days, you spent some time in St. Martin.
Yes,
and also lived in Canefield.
Yes.
Can you tell us how those 3 communities impacted your life?
Well, firstly, with living in St. Martin, it was at a very young age, from about, let's say, 3 months to almost 5 years. So at that age, I won't be able to remember a lot of things, but I do remember traveling, going on the planes, and that was fun as a child. So that was a good thing. And growing up in Canefield as well with my aunts, that was another great milestone because it showed me that not only your mom can be a mom, your relatives can be mother figures as well.
Okay, you have an associate degree in business administration. What are you doing currently with that degree, or what do you intend to do with in terms of your career path?
Okay, well, with the business administration degree that I have, the reason that I did business in college was mainly because I did it in high school, and at that time business was very popular. So at that time I did not really know where I wanted to go in terms of a career path. I just did business because it was very popular. And currently now I am employed with my mom. She runs a small business in Salisbury. So I use my knowledge that I've gotten through the associate degree, and I'm helping her run the business. But in terms of career, my dream right now is to be a dentist. Mainly because for the past 2 years, health has emerged very important to me. I did eye checks, I did my sugar level, I did everything in regards to health, and one of the places that I went was the dentist's office. And the dentist, something about them I admired, the way that they interacted with people while giving them oral health. And this made me change my direction from business to dentistry. So that's the main reason.
Wow, that's a shift there.
Yes,
but it's good that you were able to find out what it is that you want to do. Many people, it takes them, so many different even career paths before they really find what it is that they really want to do, what it is that is really their passion. So what do you intend to do with that? Are you intending to pursue your education fully in dentistry?
Yes, I am. If, or should I say when, I win the Miss Dominica title and I obtain the scholarship, my dream is to pursue studies in dentistry. So that's what I would like to do.
Okay. Speaking of the Miss Dominica pageant, what made you decide to be a competitor this year?
My drive was the experience. I liked what I saw. The young girls dressing up and going to different events. For example, the boat cruise. I can't wait to go on to the boat cruise. So I admired that, and this is one of the reasons among many.
Okay, can you tell us any other reason why?
Yes, another reason would be my platform, fueling the fight against domestic violence. My platform is dear to me because within my home, I did witness domestic violence, and being a part of the Dominica Queen Show, it allows you to bring awareness to, let's say, important things like that. So this is another reason why I took part in the show.
Wow. You say that domestic violence, you experienced that. Has it changed you or impacted you in any way, or you personally?
Yes, personally, it has made me strong. Strong in a way that I don't allow myself to be taken advantage of, and I am very outspoken. Also, it gives me a soft heart when it comes to people who are affected by domestic violence, because from my experience I know what it is to have to go to the hospital with your mom because she has a black eye, she has a runny nose, she's spitting blood and so forth. And also on the other end, I know what it is to see your father with stitches in his palm through domestic violence. So yeah, that's about it.
And I think that's a very sensitive issue. It's not something that people really like to talk about. And normally that's the reason why people remain in situations where domestic violence occur, because they don't want to speak about it. So I think it's brave that you can speak about it.
It is. Even as I'm speaking here, I get a little shaky speaking about domestic violence because I have seen the horrors of domestic violence.
Wow. Okay, so would you say that that's a subject that you're an authority on? Because my next question to you is, what subject do you think that you're an authority on? Something that you can speak about boldly because you really know about it.
Well, yes, domestic violence would be a topic that I can speak on boldly.
Okay. Let's talk about your preparation for the Miss Dominica pageant. What sacrifices have you had to make?
Sacrifices? Well, with my job, being employed with my mom, the time that I would usually work from, let's say, 5 to the evening, right now that time is being dedicated to rehearsals. So from 5 to, let's say, 11 in the evening, it is rehearsal time. So that is a sacrifice that I made.
Do you have any experience on the stage? Have you participated in anything like this before?
No, I have not. This is my first pageant. However, I have been backstage at the Team Madam Wop Duet show with my cousin, and also at the Miss West that was held during Carnival last year for the first time. So I do have backstage experience, but this is my first time being in a pageant.
Wow. What do you enjoy most about the journey so far?
The journey, the girls. The girls are fun. Whenever we are together, whether it's serious time or just bonding, it's fun. So the girls are great.
But how are you able to balance though between your relationship with them and at the end of the day it's a competition?
Yes, it is a competition. I think all the girls are focused when we are on stage. We do what we have to do. But afterwards, you know, we hug each other, so there is balance.
Would you say you have an edge?
An edge? Yes. Well, my advantage would be my legs. They are very long. So it helps me with swimwear. The legs bring out the segment very well. So that would be my strong point.
Okay. So you mentioned swimwear and your legs. Is that your favorite segment of the Miss Dominica pageant, or is there any other segment you see that is more important?
Well, favorite and important are actually different. My favorite would be the swimwear because I'm more confident in swimwear because of my legs. But I think that the most important part is the intelligence. It is a segment that the public thinks is more important.
Okay, but what do you think is more
well,
important?
I do think it's important as well. From the pageants that I've seen, the person who captures the intelligence sash or award usually ends up at the top, if not first place, the winner.
Okay, what constitutes true beauty to you?
True beauty is not only the outside. It is a pageant and all the girls are beautiful. But I believe that true beauty, is what is inside. and what is able to come out through the inside. That's what I believe is true beauty.
Okay, that's good. Most people think so too. I'm going to ask a question that I'm not sure if you will be comfortable answering, but let us know. Have you ever had a really embarrassing situation in your life, and do you care to share?
What comes to mind is domestic violence as well. Domestic violence is any violence within the home. It's home violence. I remember during my childhood that my grades during primary school, let's say for one term, was not so good, and my mom, she actually, how do I say it? She actually gave me a beating at school. So that was very embarrassing to me. I love my mom, she's great, but that was embarrassing. I can remember it right now.
Okay. Is there anything that makes you really nervous, and what is that?
Nervous. I always get nervous before an interview or before I go onto the stage, mainly because at that time you are actually going to be judged. So being judged actually makes me nervous.
You're nervous. What is your greatest fear?
My greatest fear, it seems like I'm going back to domestic violence a lot, but my greatest fear is actually ending up like my parents. I love my parents to death. I think they are great, but I do not want in future to be affected through domestic violence within my home.
Okay. What would you say is your best quality?
My best quality would be my personality. I feel like I have a great personality besides other things.
Can you describe your personality to me?
Well, always the one who is laughing. So when I laugh, it brings joy to other persons as well. So my personality would be laughter, I would say.
Okay. At the end of your life, Keianna, what would you like your legacy to be?
I would like my legacy to be someone who stood up for domestic violence, someone who was an advocate for domestic violence. You know, somebody who really cared and who really wanted the public to be aware and also know that, well, women to know that they are not alone and there are measures you can take to get away from domestic violence.
Okay, that's wonderful. And January is a drug awareness month. How do you think drugs, the abuse of drugs and alcohol impact on domestic violence?
It's the drugs actually can play a big role in domestic violence. For instance, let's say the father is a drug abuser. When he comes to home intoxicated, he may beat his wife and so forth, or emotionally bring her down. So the alcohol and the drugs play a huge part in domestic violence as well.
Yeah. The Salisbury community, are you aware of any government initiatives in Salisbury presently? And can you tell us about that?
Okay, yes, I am. One of the things that the government is working on is a $2 million water project. It entails storage of water, and I believe that it's very important to Salisbury. It is good to have healthy water, and spending $2 million on the water project and on Salisbury is a great initiative.
All right, so you believe it's really going to impact the community in a big and positive way?
Yes, it will.
How about the initiative by Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit to engage young persons, give them an experience in the workplace through the National Employment Program?
Yes, the National Employment Program is a great initiative. Seeing that a lot of persons in this century are going to college. After college graduates, it's kind of difficult to find a job. The National Employment Program helps young persons to get the job experience, on the job mentoring, training and skills. So it's a great initiative. They are not home idle, getting themselves involved in crime or violence or so forth. And they get paid as well. So it helps our economy. It's a very good initiative.
Yes, I think so too. I'm going to give you a few minutes to speak to the Dominican public about your platform. I know we've spoken quite a bit about that,
yes.
But if you were to win Miss Dominica, I'm sure that it would give you a voice to really, bring that platform out. But right now, I really want you to take some time and tell Dominicans about your platform.
Okay. My platform is domestic violence, fueling the fight against domestic violence. Domestic violence is family violence, any violence within the home, whether emotional, verbal, or physical. I would like to let Dominicans know that domestic violence rate right now is very high. For the last survey done was in 2011, and over 717 women reported domestic violence. So this is very alarming for a small country like ours. So I would like everyone to play their part and help with the domestic violence as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Keianna.
Welcome.
And thank you for joining us on this edition of Journey to the Throne. I am Kimani St. See you next time.